The Thunder won a bloody Game 5 showdown, 120-109 against the Pacers. The 40-point man carried the dawn of the team's first championship in history, when the ceiling lights of Chesapeake Energy Arena in Oklahoma City illuminated the score on the scoreboard. The Thunder finally won in the NBA Finals Game 5, for the first time in team history. This showdown, full of controversial calls and injury shadows, is destined to become a significant chapter in league history. Jerome Williams scored a whopping 40 points, breaking the team's playoff record. Alexander tore through the Pacers' defense with an all-around performance of 31 points, 10 assists and 4 blocks, but the controversy over the referees' standards at the beginning of the game and the injuries of Halliburton and Turner cast a complicated light on the victory. Controversy erupted 3 minutes after the start, and the referees' whistles ignited the powder keg at 3:21 of the first quarter. Pacers guard Nembhard broke to the basket with the ball. At the moment of takeoff, he was interfered by Thunder forward Dort's outstretched foot, and his body twisted unnaturally in the air before falling to the floor. The fans' exclamations spread throughout the country. "This is clearly a trip. Why didn't the referee call it?" Slow-motion replays showed that Dort deliberately extended his ankle when landing, and the point of contact was beyond the normal defensive range. But the head referee, Tony Blazes, waved to signal the game to continue. Pacers coach Rick Carlisle on the sidelines immediately flew into a rage. He rushed out of the coaching bench and pointed at the referee, roaring, his suit and tie askew in excitement, "This is the finals. What are you looking at?" The technical table blew the whistle right away. After a brief discussion, the on-duty referees showed Carlisle a second technical foul and ejected him. Veteran George Hill rushed forward to hold back the furious coach, and the players on the bench looked at each other in dismay. This was the third time Carlisle had been ejected in 21 years of coaching, but the first time on the finals stage. We're playing a must-win game on the road, and the referees decided the outcome from the first minute. After the game, Carlisle growled at reporters in the players' tunnel, his voice shaking with anger. The shadow of injury loomed over the Pacers. What hit the Pacers harder than the referee controversy was the health crisis of their core players. At 5:17 of the first quarter, Halliburton suddenly covered his right calf after a change of direction breakthrough, and knelt on one knee in pain. When the team doctor quickly went onto the court for examination, his fingers repeatedly pressed the gastrocnemius muscle area. After 3 minutes of treatment, Halliburton limped back to the locker room. The camera in the tunnel captured him shaking his head and sighing, and Turner, who had been listed as active due to ankle swelling before the game, landed unsteadily while competing for a rebound in the late first quarter, and also went into the locker room for ice treatment. Pacers fans' hearts were in their throats. If these inside and outside cores were absent, the team would lose the capital to compete with the Thunder. Luckily, 9 minutes later, Halliburton reappeared with protective gear. Although his movement speed was obviously reduced, he still hit a key three-pointer in the second quarter. Turner also came back in the early third quarter and declared his status with a thunderous dunk. "We knew we had to persevere." Halliburton showed the kinesiology tape on his calf after the game. "The pain prevented me from completing movements, which affected the game rhythm." Now let's look at the leading role of this game. Jerome Williams, on this epic night in Game 5, he dedicated a passionate performance of 40 points to the Oklahoma City fans. When the game entered the key quarter, the 24-year-old Jerome Williams became the new hero in Thunder history. The sound waves in the arena almost blew the backboard off. On the stats board, his efficient output of 14 of 25 shooting, 3 of 5 from three-point range, and 9 of 12 from the free throw line not only broke his personal playoff scoring record, but also made him the 7th player in league history to score 40-plus in an NBA Finals Game 7. The first 6 are Jordan, O'Neal, James, Durant, Wade and Iverson. Thunder coach Mark Daigneault revealed tactical details after the game. "We set up a post-up tactic for him in the third quarter, making him mismatch against the Pacers' small guards." Jerry Williams' physical confrontation and mid-range touch played a role at critical moments. More notably, his 4 assists in the critical moments of the fourth quarter helped Alexander and Holmgren score consecutively, showing court vision beyond his age. "This is just the beginning." Jerry wiped sweat in the player tunnel and said firmly, our goal is to lift the O'Brien Cup. Now let's look at our new MVP Alexander. As the first Finals MVP candidate in Thunder history, Alexander responded to doubts with an all-around performance of 31 points, 10 assists and 4 blocks. When the game reached 6:42 of the third quarter, he jumped high in a fast break, and swatted Halliburton's layup like a volleyball. Then he dribbled to the frontcourt, and made a signature floater for a 2+1. This offensive and defensive transition completely ignited the home fans. Statistics show that he scored 162 points in the first 5 Finals games, surpassing Durant's 153 points, to become the all-time Finals scoring leader in Thunder, including Seattle Supersonics history. His average of 32.6 points even outperforms Jordan, 35.8 in 1993, and Kobe, 32.4 in 2009. In the same period, he's like a director on the court. Pacers guard McConnell lamented after the game. You think he's going to break through, but he passes to Jalen in the corner. You think he's going to pass, but he finishes with a floater. Those 4 blocks even changed the game's momentum. Alexander's performance is not only reflected in the statistics. When the Thunder were hit by a 14-2 run by the Pacers in the third quarter, it was his 2 consecutive steals that launched fast breaks and stabilized the situation with his personal ability. ESPN's post-game updated championship probability model shows that the Thunder have a 54.1% probability to outperform the Pacers 45.9%, and historical data points to a clear trend. In league history, teams that win the Game 7 have a 74% chance of eventually winning the championship. This data reminds Thunder fans of 1979, when the Seattle Supersonics defeated the Washington Bullets in Game 7 of the Finals to win the only championship in team history. After moving to Oklahoma City, the team lost to the Heat 1-4 in the 2012 Finals, and the trio of Durant, Westbrook, and Harden disbanded since then. We've been waiting for this day for 13 years. An old fan wearing an 35 retro jersey at the scene had tears in his eyes. From Durant's departure to the trough of reconstruction, we finally see hope now. Thunder general manager Presti's draft reconstruction strategy shows its power at this point. Alexander traded for George in 2019, Holmgren selected with the second pick in 2022, and Jerome Williams found in the second round form a core lineup, with an average age of only 24.7 years old. When the final whistle sounded, the picture of Alexander and Holmgren hugging and jumping seemed to herald the birth of a new king. Will the Pacers' desperate counterattack and the Thunder's final step be more exciting? Although they lost Game 5, the Pacers didn't give up. We will fight to the last second at home. Halliburton made a one gesture to the camera in the player tunnel, implying that the team would win Game 6. Their confidence comes from home court advantage. This season, the Pacers have a home record of 34-7, while the Thunder are 2-2 on the road in the finals. The only loss was the controversial Game 4. The zone defense strategy arranged by Carlisle before being ejected caused the Thunder to have 6 turnovers in the third quarter. This may become the key tactic for Game 6. For the Thunder, the next game will be the most important battle in team history. If they win, they will become the third team in league history to win the first championship as a relocated team, and the first 2 are the Raptors and Pelicans. They will also end Oklahoma's 48-year professional sports championship drought. After the game, a note was pasted on Jerry's locker, June 20th, 2025, the day to make history. When the lights dimmed, there were still sweat marks on the floor of Chesapeake Energy Arena. This controversial and passionate Game 7 is not only a basketball game, but also a microcosm of Thunder history. From trough reconstruction to peak showdown, from referee controversy to player explosion, they are only one step away from their dream. If you like my channel, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe.